Hey y'all, I'm Sherilyn. This is Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead, and today we're going to be talking about some extended long-term food storage, some tips and some resources for getting some things a lot cheaper, saving some money, and getting some great quality things. I am also going to be going over some other items that you may not have thought that you need in your pantry and in your long-term food storage. Those haven't arrived yet. That'll be on this video, but it'll be not today. So for right now, we are going to talk about spices and what I got, where I got it, and how much it costs. Let's talk about what we got. I got 8 pounds of kosher salt, 8 pounds of sea salt, 8 pounds of pink Himalayan salt. I got 5 pounds of peppercorns, and I got 8 pounds of pickling spice. Now, I'm a canner and I'm a gardener, and this is enough pickling spice not only for myself, but for my son and his wife, who garden and they pickle things, for my dad and my mom, and this is enough to share, and this will last us for years and years and years and years and years. Now let's look at what they came in. They came in canisters like this. They were not filled to the top. Can you see that? Yeah. They were filled maybe a little more than half, maybe 60% filled. And I have transferred them into mason jars and vacuum sealed them. Except for the sea salt, I did put some of the sea salt into a quart jar. I put some into a pint jar for immediate use in my pantry. And then I put what was left from this into this big jug. So the jugs did not come full like this. But 8 pounds, if it came full like this, this would be probably 12 pounds of salt. And I bought this, all of this, from webstrontsstore.com, and I'll put a link in the description below. You do have to pay shipping, so just watch what you're buying. I did add one more thing to my cart, and it must have shifted the weight up a class, like a shipping class, because it added almost $15 to the shipping fees. So I just removed that item and came back down to just $20 shipping fees for all of this. And I think this is a really great buy because I pay a lot more than that on Amazon. If you are a canner and you pickle stuff, you've probably seen this little jar. It's from Ball, and it's in the canning supplies in your local store. This little jar is 1.8 ounces, and it costs $3. These 3 half-gallon jugs, and this one almost full quart jug is 8 pounds of pickling spice, and it did not even cost $30. Go figure. So we've got pickling spice not just for me, not just for my family, but if I needed to sell some or barter some or trade out with someone for something else I didn't have, that's a great option there. It was also a really great price. Peppercorns never go bad. And we have got over a gallon and a pint of peppercorns here. This is going to be enough for me, for my family, to share with friends, to barter, to trade in a crazy situation, as well as the salt. And that's another thing we may want to think about. If you are the only person who's thinking in terms of bulk storage, what's going to happen in any situation where we may not be able to get to the store or where items may be limited, when your family runs out, when your close friends run out. You're going to want to have not just enough for you. Okay, I'm back. Now for you that was just a second, but here it's been about a week and a half. And I've got a few other things I want to talk to you about. I know a lot of us have probably gone online and looked up freeze-dried companies and companies that sell the number 10 cans. You may or may not have seen some very high prices. I'm going to talk to you about what I bought, why I bought it, and how I'm going to use it, and what it cost. First, I went ahead and purchased this number 10 can. It's 1 pound, 4 ounces of dehydrated bell peppers. And this is the red and green bell peppers. The reason I purchased this, it's in a number 10 can, it's going to last on the shelf for 25 years. If I open it and put it in some pint size or quart size mason jars and vacuum seal it, we're still going to last at least another 24 years or so. And you can just use a little at a time. The reason I also bought this is if you know the price of bell peppers, you know you're going to have to buy a bushel of bell peppers, dehydrate them to get this 1 pound, 4 ounces. And this did cost $24. If you go buy the amount of bell peppers in here and dehydrate them, it's going to cost you at least $24 plus the work and your time. So this is pretty good. This is Augustin Farms. All of these in number 10 cans I want to talk to you about today are Augustin Farms, and I purchased every one of them on Amazon, and I'll put links in the description box below. Okay, for those of you who watch the channel know I was having a hard time processing 50 pounds of onions. I'm never buying another 50-pound bag of onions again. Number one, I'm in South Florida, so I don't have a cool storage basement or cool room or anywhere to store them, and they're not going to last very long. So I purchased this, and this is dehydrated, this is not freeze-dried, dehydrated chopped onions, 1 pound, 7 ounces. This is $15.64. Now, $15.64, you're going to have to buy at least 15 pounds of onions to come up with this much dehydrated onions, and you're already at about at least $10, depending, I don't know what onion prices are where you're at. But for me, I hate peeling onions, I hate chopping onions, I don't like it, they make me cry. And then my hands smell like onions for days, no matter what I do. So for me, this was a good deal at $15.64 for this number 10 can of onions. Let's go over here. This is potato slices. It's only 1 pound, 1 ounce. That's a pretty decent weight there. Now, I know that you can buy potatoes cheap and you can dehydrate them cheap. And I will do that for more. But this to me was a good item because it's sealed in the number 10 can. It's going to be 25 years. It's a good item to stick back. And this was, I think, $12. This one was the most expensive one. It's the heaviest one. This is 3 pounds and 10 ounces. So almost 4 pounds of tomato powder. And this was $39.40. Now the tomato powder can be used in many, 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 many ways. This is heavy, you guys. Again, you're going to have a couple of bushels of tomatoes to process them, dehydrate them, and come up with this much tomato powder. I like the option of having one in a can, and I am probably going to take this out and put it in pint-sized jars and vacuum seal it, and they're going to be good for many, 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 many years. Then I can just use a little as I need it. Now here, these two are the same, and I did that on accident. I forgot I had put one in my cart, and I put another one in my cart, and I bought two. But that's okay. This is a cheese blend powder. This is what you're going to use for anything that you use cheese. Maybe not a sandwich. You could make a cheese sauce and spread it on your bread. This is a freeze-dried product, and it's going to be good again for 25 years on the shelf. This is 3 pounds and 4 ounces of cheese. Each can costs $21.86. Now let's talk about some of these things and how we're going to use them. But first, let's go over here. This is sour cream powder. Now this looks like, let me see. Oh no, I can't read the ounces. Sorry. This is, maybe I'll get my glasses. Wait a minute. This is 1 pound. This is 1 pound of sour cream powder. And This is 1 pound of another item. You can see the smaller jar, but this definitely is dense. So this 1 pound of sour cream powder, you can rehydrate this with a little bit of water. And you're not going to get your fluffy sour cream that you get from the refrigerator, but you can still get something that'll be good used as sour cream. You can also use this, spoon of this here and there, added to other things, added to soups, stews, stroganoff, different things like that. And use it in baking. If you want to give, if you're baking a cake and you want to give it that little bit of like a sour cream pound cake, you can use some of this and it would be great. Sour cream powder. This is from Hoosier Hill Farm. Again, I purchased this on Amazon. Also from Hoosier Hill Farm, we have heavy cream powder. Now you can use this as a coffee creamer. It's a little expensive for a coffee creamer, but it's most definitely better than those artificial non-dairy powdered coffee creamers. This you can also use in anything in your baking, in your sauces, stuff like that. This is just off the counter at Walmart, and this is just natural Parmesan cheese. Now I like to get the one that doesn't have the preservatives and that doesn't have the cellulose in it, but then again, you do whatever fits your family's eating habits. This just grated Parmesan cheese right off the shelf. Another thing I got right off the shelf at Walmart, there's 3 of them here. This is buttermilk, cultured buttermilk blend. It's powdered, dried and powdered buttermilk. Put a dash of this in your biscuits, put it in your soup, put it in your stew. You can, if you have a recipe that calls for buttermilk, and you can mix this up, and you have buttermilk to use as a liquid in your recipes. You can toss this into your breads, into your baking, lots of things. Buttermilk powder. And this is something I wanted to talk about and mention again. If you haven't seen the video where I did the long-term food storage, I talked about the powdered butter. And this is powdered butter. And now let's talk about how we're going to use some of these things. Let me start with, well, we know how we're going to use chopped onions and we're going to use bell peppers. So here's another thought. What about making meals in a jar or meals in Mylar bags for your quick, easy MREs? Or if you do them in the mason jars, or if you can do them in the bags, they're good for taking hunting, taking camping, taking on vacations. You can even travel with the food in the Mylar bags. If you're going on vacation somewhere and you want to take your own food, we can do meals in a jar. That's a whole other video, but something to look forward to. So we know how to use onions and bell peppers. And over here, let's talk about the potatoes. Let's say we want to have some au gratin potatoes. So we're going to boil the water, put these in. You're going to put a little bit of powdered milk in there, which I didn't bring any out now. And then you can use your cheese, your powdered cheese. Hey, you could even put some onions and bell peppers in there. And then you're going to have some great au gratin potatoes. Another thing to think about, if we ever get in a position where we're having to eat out of our long-term food storage, and that is our only or our main source of food, you're really going to want variety. These things are going to lend themselves to really extending your menu out and giving you a lot more options. Another thing I want to talk about, a lot of food storage preps involve a lot of boxed mac and cheese. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. I think I have some put up. But if you think how heavy this is and how cheap a box of pasta is, and you think that when you buy the box of mac and cheese, you're only getting maybe a third of the pasta that you would when you buy a normal sized box of pasta. And here at my local less expensive grocery store, I can get a box of pasta for 68 cents. It's closer to $1 at Walmart at regular price. But think about how much mac and cheese you're going to get with this. I mean, you're just going to get a scoop. How much mac and cheese is in that little powder packet when you open it? There's not much, a few tablespoons maybe. So you're going to use this, you're going to use some powdered milk, you're going to use some of your bulk pasta, and you have mac and cheese out the ears for ages. I mean, so much mac and cheese, it's going to be great. Another way to use this is you can rehydrate it with a little bit of the powdered butter and a little bit of powdered milk and mix it all together and make a cheese sauce. Think about all the foods that would taste so much better if you had a cheese sauce to go on them. It's going to be better for tacos, for gracious, any kind of potato dish, baked potatoes, any kind of vegetables. If you're going to have a lot of vegetables, dehydrated or frozen or canned vegetables, and imagine that you just, you know, are eating vegetables till you don't want any more vegetables. Imagine how much better it'd be with some cheese on it. Cheese makes everything better. Lots of ways you can use this. Oh, another way I wanted to tell you is that you can take the instant mashed potato flakes we talked about. Why should we have instant mashed potato flakes? Instant mashed potato flakes are good for thickening soup. They are good for instant mashed potatoes. If you're in a position where you have limited propane, limited generator use, you know, or you're just gone on vacation and you want something in a Mylar bag or something in a mason jar that you can make in 5 minutes. Maybe you've got college kids and you want to make them some meals in a jar. Put some mashed potato flakes, some of this cheese powder, some of the powdered milk, a little bit of the butter powder, some onions, and they've got a beautiful, amazing, cheesy potato soup. Let's think about all the ways that we can use some basic items and make a much larger menu. Tomato powder. What we're going to do with tomato powder. You can use this in your soups, stews. You can, you know, to make like a tomato broth base for stuff. And if you have, I keep feeling like my hair is falling out of this braid. Okay, so let's do some more meals in a jar. Thinking about that, you make a great vegetable meal in a jar with this. Crack open some of your canned beef or canned chicken, some green peppers, some onions, some tomato powder, and some pasta, and you can make an amazing Italian dish. Don't forget your Parmesan cheese, and there's a whole bunch you can do with that. And I think that just about covers everything that I wanted to put in this video. Please stay tuned as we cook more, as we garden more, and as we prep more. And I hope you guys have a really great day. Everybody stay safe, be prepared, and don't forget to put any of your ideas in the comments below. You know, if you guys have some ideas from using some of these or from some other things that you think we should have in our long-term food storage and in our pantries. Until next time, guys, bye y'all.